And I think that was basically the end of the idea that that this alternative security arrangement was going to take over, because if Germany's not reunified under those auspices, in the same, I mean, the allegory might be the reunification, the German situation under NATO, right? Like Germany rejoins Europe under the auspices of NATO, and that's the way that that tricky political issue can be managed. But if Germany's just being reunited in this Western imperialist, military alliance on the European continent, the idea that there's going to be an alternative, peaceful, solution between East and West in Europe, it's just not feasible at that point anymore. So I really think this is pretty much it, and the very brief window of hope, and it was still held on, and the OSCE still exists, but I think that basically this really closed the book on this alternative European security arrangement.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning too that Baker's promise to Gorbachev actually was I don't want to say a ripoff, but was maybe an homage to something that the West German foreign minister, this guy named Hans-Dietrich Genscher, who I think just died recently. He made this big speech in Tutzing, Germany. This became kind of known as the Tutzing formula, that NATO wouldn't expand, and Baker essentially repeated those promises to Gorbachev. I agree. I think that basically the Americans and the Germans were essentially saying anything in order for the Red Army troops to leave Eastern Germany. Yeah. Really, all that's anything that happened after that. Well, it's like the Russians don't get a say, right? Yeah. You're out. And so, we talked about this pretty extensively, I feel like, in one of the episodes we did on Ukraine with Mark Ames. But it's like these promises, whether they were, there's a lot made that the fact that Gorbachev didn't have him write any of this down, which is another classic case of what you would call Gorbachev-style bargaining.
Also, just real quick, TrueAnon tip to the listener, always write it down.
Always get it right.
Always get it in writing. Number one thing, get it in writing. And then, now that we got cell phones, take a photo of it in writing. So you got it on your person and you got it in writing.
My thing, though, beyond that, writing doesn't really mean much either. Make them do it immediately at gunpoint. That's really the only way. Yeah. If you're dealing with someone who's duplicitous and perfidious, the only thing that you can really do is just make them, all right, let's just, why don't we just go do this now?